This is my beautiful Rolleiflex 2.8, and this is the 80 millimeter. And I'm going to show you how to load it. On the bottom of the Rolleiflexes are this beautiful little locking device. You just simply follow the arrow and push to the right, and then pull up in the tab, and the back just opens up, just like that. On the bottom, you take out the spool from the previous roll and drop it right into the top. And you can just simply pull the grip out like that. And I like to give it a little spin just to make sure it's in place. And put that little slot facing straight up where you're going to insert your film. I'm using Ilford Delta 400, and I use it most of the time for my black and white work because I really like the the higher ASA, because it's a 120 film medium format, and that makes it possible to be more versatile. So you simply pull the bottom dial out. See what the top dial here was for where we put the empty spool, and down at the bottom we pull this out and drop the full brand new spool into place. And I left the tab attached so that there's wouldn't be any unraveling as I tried to load this. And with Rolleiflex, they have these guides, or these rollers. And the first one, you have to feed the film underneath, because this is a guide that senses the thickness of the paper in the film, and when it reaches to the first frame, it trips the mechanics so that the camera knows that it's on frame number 1. If you accidentally feed the film over, then what will happen is when you're cranking, it won't stop for each frame. It'll just keep going until you blow out a whole roll. So here's the way I do it. At this point now, I'll take off the tab, and you want to make sure that you get all the pieces of that tab out. If you don't, then sometimes they float around inside the Rolleiflex and can get in the way of, well, exposing your negatives. And just simply fold that up, and I like to fold it over a little bit so it's bent down. You'll see why when we get to the take-up reel spool. So there it goes through, and it's always a tricky thing to keep the back open, but once it's open, you simply take the other end of the film and crank, and you'll see that it just goes in nice and smooth like until you see your arrow. And I like to just stop it right here. You can pull that all the way up to the middle, but for me, I just feel safer leaving it right there. There's enough in the take-up spool that it won't come off. And then you simply put this back down, put the lock in place, and then the safety. Then there's a little number indicator here that will trip over number 1 as soon as we arrive at the first frame. And to get there, we just crank this beautiful Rolleiflex mechanics. and then back one, and set the arm in place. And now we're on frame number one, and we're all set to take pictures. I'm gonna have fun with this today.